Hi Kingdom Curls Club, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another sewing tutorial. Today I will be teaching you guys or walking with you step by step on how to do this McCall M6940 pattern. The K Clothes 2021 Wedding of the Year, Simeon did her wedding dress with this pattern, and I love this so much that I was like, that is my Passover dress. This was my first time actually using a pattern, and I'm going to show you guys what I learned, how I did it, and how to store it for future use. If you are a specific size, all of that, you'll see it and learn it right here on this video. You don't want to miss it.
Can I hear a little commotion for the dress? A little bit?
Okay, so this pattern, so first of all, you don't want to buy any fabric until you source your pattern. On the back, your pattern tells you what type of material is best for this pattern and how many yards you need according to what size you're using. And this is where I got this pattern from and how much it costs. After I finished using this pattern, I folded the pieces up and I stored it in like a little Ziploc because it's almost impossible to put it back in this little paper pack. And I know it's overwhelming when you take a pattern out of the pack and it just explodes on you. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how you sort it all out, especially if you have a pattern that has multiple dresses, tops, bottoms, or whatever. If there's multiple patterns in one, I'm going to show you how to sort it out to what you want specifically. Okay, so you're going to have two books like this inside of your pattern. One of the books is sewing instructions and the other book is pattern instructions. So you want to look at the one that has the pattern instructions, right? And it'll show you exactly what number patterns you want for the pattern you need. For example, I would like to make pattern A. So pattern A pieces will be listed on the pattern manual for pattern A. So you'll take the numbers that they are telling you to cut out of your pattern for pattern A. Okay, so this is how you cut the pattern piece to fit multiple sizes and or room to grow. So you don't, unless you are making this pattern specifically for you or any pattern for one size person, that's it. You can cut it exactly on the size. But what I like to do if I'm doing that is to go at least 2 sizes over for free sewing seam allowance. You don't have to worry about 3/4 of an inch if it's 2 spaces above. But for this pattern, I plan on sewing for multiple sizes, multiple people. So I am going to cut it out at the very end of the pattern here. You just cut out all the pieces you need for the pattern A or B. Then you are going to iron your paper. So the pattern paper is very clingy to things as soon as you get it from out of the pack. And if you iron it, it'll stop it from being fly kite paper and it'll actually behave like regular paper instead of really light tissue paper. So what you want to do is put your settings on maybe 3 on your iron on a low setting and lightly iron and to smooth your pattern out. If you have tissue paper and you are using your fabric and you see that it is starting to get worn or wrinkled, you can iron it as well if it's used. If you're using it again, it's crumbled, definitely iron your pattern paper. your reused paper. Once you see your pattern paper is starting to get old and worn, you can always transfer it to pattern paper, and they sell it at local fabric stores, and it come on like a roll like fabric, and it's just like heavier paper, not like poster board paper, but like regular sheet paper, but it comes like in a bigger width, so you can put whatever pattern you want on it. And then that'll last forever. You don't have to keep buying new patterns over and over again. I used it for the wedding dress before, so I'm just ironing this because it was like in the storage. And it got kind of wrinkled, and when I go to lay it down on my fabric, I don't want any issues. Okay, so last night we ironed out our pattern, and today, unfortunately, I could not find the instruction booklet. Remember, we talked about this book right here. I couldn't find the pattern cutout where it show you like how to lay it out on the fabric. So what I have to do is I have to physically show you guys by memory. Hopefully you have your pattern and you're going along with me, so you'll know what I'm talking about when you open this book and you see the layout of the numbers of the patterns you need. Make sense? I'm going to lay it out on a sheet of paper as if the paper is the fabric and the cutouts will be the cutout of the pattern. Okay, so this paper is symbolic for fabric. So what they don't tell you in the pattern is to fold the fabric into two. One side of your fabric. Of course, you'll have two sides. This is the sleeve. Of course, you'll have two sides. So when you finish, it'll be the reverse side so that you'll have both sides of the dress all at one time.
Ladies and gentlemen, her.
This dress is absolutely wonderful. These sleeves are a bit much for like caring for kids or doing like any kind of activities where you're serving and doing things with your hands. You have to just be in this dress, like not a lot of movement for the dress. And you can always like, you know, roll up. But other than that, you're just a being in this dress. I have no complaints other than the sleeves were a little tricky to do, like this outside inside kind of like sewing it together. That was a little tricky. The pattern called for a more brocade fabric, but I chose a lighter satin because we are going into the warmer months now, and I want to be able to wear this dress for like high holy days, possibly a wedding if it calls for it. Yeah. So I misspoke before. The side panel is only one piece. I said it was two. It's only one piece here. A and B pattern has their own belts But for time's sake, I opted on wearing something I already had. This, as you can see, is the only closure for the dress. So I highly recommend you have like a slip or an underdress. These 3 toggles and the belt, that's it. You definitely can make this panel wider so that you can sew it shut. And that's definitely optional. You can make it bigger in any way that you want to. Just add the extra inches to each panel. But yeah, as you can see, I put a liner in the inside, a liner here, a liner in here, and a liner in here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, like how I made the sleeve. Like if you want, like I could definitely make another video showing how I made the sleeve and how I did like the liner of the dress. I put a liner on all sides except for the back panel and the side panels, and the upper sleeve doesn't have a liner. Yeah, and also if you want me to make a video of how to do the belt as the pattern calls for, I can definitely do that as well. Thank you guys for watching. It was such a pleasure to make my Passover dress with you guys. If you have any questions or comments about your pattern, how it's going, if you need any help with anything, I will be more than happy to make an additional video or two on like how I did the sleeves, because it could get kind of tricky, or how I did the liner. So don't be afraid to comment, like, and share. Your support helps grow us, and we'll be back hopefully soon with another sewing tutorial. Thank you for watching Cotton Curls Club and Kingdom Curls. Mwah.